ControlHub will kill your audio. Tonight, we perform our most extensive plugin test ever and show you the dark secrets that are lurking in the shadows. These extraordinary findings will blow your brains out, and you will never use this plugin again. Once you've seen the havoc that it wreaks on your audio, prepare to be amazed.
Hello. This is the voice of Harry.
During the making of this video, Bad Hair Detective was brutally mind-fucked by a hidden carrier wave embedded in STL Tones ControlHub.
Hey Harry, STL Tones have just released their tracing module. Maybe we could check out how their cloning technology works.
Yeah, sure. Per K no.
I'll load up the website.
ControlHub. That sounds interesting. Made for musicians by musicians. Alright, let's see what you got. Advanced tracing technology. Now, replicate the sonic characteristics of any hardware. Unrivaled accuracy. $15 a month. Wow, take me to the download page immediately. Run the tracer audio file from your DAW out through your desired signal chain. Wow, the fuck is that? My mind is melting. I must release my findings. Research. They must see my research. The people must know the truth. Woohoo! Letitia!
Just relax, Harry. I think it's time for another nap. I'll take it from here.
Okie dokie, you're the boss. Nappy naps.
There's not a whole lot of moments when working in a recording studio where something comes out that changes the way I think about mixing and how I could approach music production, and that gets me genuinely excited for the future, and that may trigger the end of hardware as we know it.
That's it. It was that easy. This whole process took 5 minutes, and now I have a $5,000 compressor that I can pull up whenever I want as a preset.
Howdy, fellow nerds. We're gonna get extra geeky while Harry's sleeping. First up, let's run the trace tone through ControlHub without any processing and see what we're working with. In theory, ControlHub should do nothing as the two tones should cancel out. As you can see, ControlHub did not produce a flat frequency response. Now let's add some EQ and rerun the trace program. This is the EQ curve we will try to recreate using ControlHub. If successful, it should look something like this. For comparison, let's first make an impulse response and see what that looks like. As expected, they look similar. Okay, ControlHub's turn. Yikes! 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 This is a suboptimal representation of the original EQ. I have also detected a 20 Hz carrier wave embedded in the signal. This could explain Harry's breakdown.
Did I hear my name? Letitia, are those bats? What the fuck are bats doing in here? Sure.
The following video was recorded by test subject Alpha shortly before his mysterious disappearance.
This is gonna sound crazy, but I just made a plug-in version of some hardware that I own, and it took 3 minutes. This ControlHub plugin has this new feature called Tracer, where they have this 3-minute audio file. You record it through your own gear or plugins or whatever you want to model, import it back into the plugin, and it's perfect. I just did it with my 70s LA4 because I really like the way that it overdrives when you push too much level into the compressor, and I just did it. I put it on a vocal, and the plugin sounds it sounds exactly the same. So this is all I'm going to be doing now for the rest of the day, is modeling all my stuff that I like to use the hardware versions. So yeah, ControlHub, it's really cool. Check it out. Oh my God, what's that buzzing sound?
Next, let's test the accuracy of ControlHub's compression tracing. First, we need to set a compressor to our target of 20 milliseconds attack and 50 milliseconds release. We will be using the complete signal chain option to create the trace. As you can see, after running the trace, ControlHub has failed to accurately identify the attack and release times of the original compressor. Let's see what happens if we add an EQ after the compressor and rerun the trace. Now the attack and release times are even further from the target. For our final test, we're going to look at the color module, which is used to add saturation to the audio. Roll VT.
Let me see if the color section in this case, because they model something different, it sounds different from before. Which it does right off the bat. You can hear this is much more saturated than the previous one, okay?
Vampire Dave's statement is inaccurate. If we analyze the saturation from both presets, we see that the second preset is generating a similar amount of saturation, and there is a 98.573% match in the harmonic structure.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a calamitous development in Harry's dream. Thank you.
Hey guys, pretty excited to let you know that I've teamed up with STL Tones to bring you guys a bunch of mixed presets for their plugin suite ControlHub. So I've been using ControlHub's Tracer to capture a whole bunch of different signal chains, using a lot of my outboard gear as well as a bunch of different plugin chains that I think sound really good.
As ControlHub is limited to capturing linear events like EQ, we are able to use a full frequency spectrum generator, such as white noise, in conjunction with FabFilter's EQ match feature to approximate the artist's presets. Here's how we do it.
Let's do the herring test.
Which mix is $10,000 of analog hardware, and which is FabFilter Pro Q3?
Holy monkey tits, I've gone Australian!
In terms of the ControlHub presets relating to the original signal chains, I mean, in particular, like our trash chain that we captured for you guys featuring the dirt box, and it was, I think, a distressor in there. I mean, it was kind of crazy, and that was like spot on to what it sounds like when we use it during a session.
SSL 4000, Dirtbox and Distressor or Pro Q3.
Yeah, I mean, they sound identical. I could not pick that out in a blind test.
Things got fucking freaky at the castle when they traced all 56 channels of their SSL console. The engineers unwittingly produced mind-altering 40 Hz gamma waves, which triggered the following catastrophic chain of events. Warning, viewers' discretion advised.
In at number 1, Snare Pang by George Lever. Congratulations, George. Truly fucking hideous.
Harry. Here you call. Harry. It's time to give your final verdict.
Anything good about hardware is completely lost during the trace process and replaced by the most hideous digital artifacts I've ever seen. Even if it didn't completely fuck your audio, the concept is completely fucking ridiculous. Randomly applying presets to your audio without knowing what they're doing is never gonna get you a good mix. ControlHub is nothing more than another shameless attempt by those up on high trying to exploit the little guy. 0 fucking stars. How was that? Was that alright?
Shills talkie. Donkey balls.
1. ControlHub perfectly cloned Gullfoss and Soothe 2.
There's Gullfoss on there, which is a super heavy CPU plugin, Soothe as well, which is very hard on CPU, and they are just baked into this. It's still as dynamic as they come, so it still does all of the good things that I get from those plugins, like Gullfoss sort of evening everything out, and then Soothe getting rid of the harsh resonances and stuff. And I find that ControlHub actually nails the sound of making all of those processes dynamic. Like the whole idea of those two plugins is like 1,000 EQ bands moving super fast, and ControlHub has managed to make it work perfectly the same. And I just save on so much CPU that way.
2. Vampire Dave shits on ControlHub's limiter, mistakenly thinking it's modeled on Waves L1.
Oh my god, this is so funny. I was saying I'm not a fan of the limiter. And you see the notes, there's Waves L1. I swear I didn't see it until now, so I'm not making this up. I was like, you know, kind of the limiter is kind of choking the drums and it's kind of eating a lot of trance in it. And it's literally because of this. I'm not a fan of the L1.
3. Jeremy Man Silly Pants thinks that ControlHub will clone all that analog goodness from his Fatso.
So what's happening here, and I don't keep my compressors linked stereotypically because I like the weird artifacty stuff that happens in the left and the right because they're not the same. And what this is doing now, it's basically taking a snapshot of the harmonic structure of the box. It's not really going to capture the compression exactly the way that we're used to, but that's okay. Normally when I'm reaching for a compressor, it's not because I like the way it compresses, maybe to an extent, but more so I'm reaching for a certain compressor because of the color of that box, the way it breaks up, the harmonic complexity within that box. And this is going to sample pretty much all of that. Save. Tell me that's not stupid close. So here's the other cool thing.
4. Just enable lying through his fangs for 30 seconds.
It is just so good right off the bat. I mean, in a blind test, I couldn't pick it out. Yeah, I mean, they sound identical. I could not pick that out in a blind test. Really, really excellent. Man, yeah, but down to the compression, bringing out the attack of the snare drum, it is, I mean, it's spot on. It is so good. It is so good. It's so good. I mean, yeah. It sounds freaking identical. Yeah, I mean, it sounds so good. We're just gonna save that.
Next time on Bad Hair Detective.
TLA creates the ultimate snare sound when he falls down the stairs onto his keyboard and accidentally selects an oboe preset.
Snare top rock.
I go on a secret undercover mission deep in the Namibian jungle and get eaten by rabid tiger bats.
Broadcast programming may vary by region.
Go on, get the fuck out of here!